Morning program. This portion sponsored by Citibank. Well, please welcome out to the Imus Morning program from New York, Congressman Peter King. Good morning, Congressman King.
Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not well. And I'm serious about this. I mean, yesterday, first of all, I could go on any national show I want any morning. Yeah. But I go on your show because I want you to get some good ratings while you're still alive.
Yeah.
And you're calling me a loser for going on your show? I mean, it bothers me. Also, you get me on this early hour. I don't like the 6:30 stuff. I told you, at like 7:30, 8. I work hard for a living. I need my sleep. But this whole thing about Loser Thursday and you lump me in with Chris Wallace and everybody else. I mean, if you don't want me on the show, just tell me.
I didn't call you a loser for going on a show. I said you simply were a loser, period.
I don't know how you can say that. First of all, you're begging me to come on the show. I mean, the listeners should know that you beg me to be on the show every day. I can squeeze it in once every month or two. But if it were up to you, I'd be on every month. And then every day, and when I do come on, then you harass me the day before. But you don't have the nerve to say it to my face. You say it to Bernard when I'm not around.
I'm saying it now, you're a loser. What are you talking about?
Well, you say now only because I called you on it, that's all. You were trying to be nice to me in the beginning.
Well, no, but
good morning and all this stuff, you know?
I could try to weasel out of it like you do every time you get called on some ridiculous position you take.
I was like a cornered rat there. You were trapped in the corner. You couldn't get away.
What did you do this morning, Congressman? Did you get up this morning and you say to yourself, I got a good idea. Why don't I call the old cowboy out at the ranch who has cancer himself and make fun of him and make him feel bad, which is what you've done now.
I told you I want to be on your show because, you're still alive. That's why I'm doing it.
I hope you're, and good, bring into question my mortality, which is not like I don't think about it anyway. You're just an awful person, Congressman.
Yeah, I feel good. By the way, I got a full physical. Prostate is fine. My heart, I got a nuclear stress test. The doctor told me the heart is pumping like a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
But anyway, good luck to you.
You don't look great. I've seen you. So. Anyway, on a far more serious note,
yes,
you're 66 years old.
Yes.
Oh, so you had to have been raised on rock and roll and doo-wop, and weren't you?
Yeah, actually rock and roll. But you asked for the 5 songs, so I figured I'd put in the caricature there. Irish Eyes Are Smiling, Notre Dame Victory March. No, but I could talk about Rock Around the Clock, or Hound Dog, or Don't Be Cruel, Heartbreak Hotel, all that stuff, sure. Blue Suede Shoes, even.
Well, you're from New York, aren't you?
Yeah.
Don't you like doo-wop, Fred Paris of Five Satins, that kind of stuff?
I was too busy working when I was a kid. I was in the streets in Sunnyside and going to school in Brooklyn and everything. I'm not like some cowboy out west who sits around listening to country music and all that stuff.
All right, let me ask you a couple of serious questions. Yeah. The president met with the Palestinian president yesterday, Abbas. What's your take on all that?
Listen, there's nothing wrong with a meeting with Abbas, but the fact is that coming after the Israeli flotilla issue last week, the fact that he would not meet with Netanyahu in public, not give him a photo opportunity, but he goes out of his way to give that 3-way handshake or whatever it was, the hands wrapped around each other with Abbas. To me, it sends the wrong signal. It shows that he's moving further away from Israel. He's in the wake of all the controversy with Israel. It'll be so public with the Palestinian president, then to be saying he's going to give them $400 million. He's definitely, to me, sending a signal which is troubling to our allies because we're moving away from our closest ally in the region, and he's encouraging our enemies. Like, for instance, I don't think you would have had a country like Turkey involved in that flotilla 2 or 3 years ago, but they're getting such mixed signals from President Obama that he's, I believe, really weakening our position in the Middle East. He's encouraging enemies, and he's causing allies and countries that are on the margins to have second thoughts.
And did the president actually say the Gaza situation is unsustainable? What does he mean by that?
I don't know what he means, and that's part of the problem either, because what he's doing, though, I think, is giving certainly the implication is there that Israel has to change its policies, that Israel is the cause of what's happening. And that's just not true. Israel's made concession after concession. Israel's record is far from perfect, but it's as perfect as anyone else's in that region of the world, certainly far more than the Palestinians, far more than many of the Arab countries. And we should be standing with our allies. So what he's doing, basically saying, I think he's sending a signal that Israel has to cut back on the blockade, that Israel has to start making more concessions at a time when we should make it clear we stand with Israel more strongly than ever.
I got a good idea. Why don't they terrorists stop going into Israel and blowing up school buses and everything and restaurants and killing Jewish women and children? Why don't we start there?
Yeah, Don, I agree with you. And that's what I think the main fault with the president's policy is. To him, there's this moral equivalency that Israel's not perfect, Hamas isn't perfect, let's try to work it out. The fact is, Israel withdrew from Gaza. I was over there 5 years ago when they were withdrawing. They withdrew from Gaza, land for peace. The first thing Hamas does is start firing thousands and thousands of rockets into Israel, killing Israelis. Men, women, children. You're right, school buses, schools. It's Israel, which is being attacked. Israel is the country that makes concession after concession, and yet the president makes it out to be it's 50-50. He compares Israel constructing some apartments in Jerusalem with Iran constructing a nuclear bomb, and it's that moral equivalency when there is no equivalency at all, which is I find very disturbing. Well, it's the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu, the elected prime minister of our closest ally, the president would not meet with him in public. He had to come in the White House at night with no photographers. Meanwhile, with Mahmoud Abbas yesterday, they're virtually embracing each other like, long-lost brothers and best friends. And meanwhile, Netanyahu was out in the cold. So this, to me, was these are bad signals to be sending, and these types of actions have consequences. And I really do not believe that flotilla incident would have happened last week. You would not have had Turkey, who had been a close ally, now working against Israel. You would not have had that, whether it's under President Bush or McCain or even under Bill Clinton. It would not have happened.
Quarter to the hour here in the Imus Morning program. We're listening to Congressman Peter King here on the Imus Morning program discuss the situation, the president's attitude toward Israel and so on. I was going to make some wise-ass comment about it, but I'm not going to. These recent primary on Tuesday and these recent elections, you're up for in November, right?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
But all this anti-incumbency fever sweeping the country, whether you're Republican or Democrat, it's miraculous that apparently you're a shoo-in, right?
Yeah, mainly, I don't know if I'm a shoo-in, but I expect to get about 99% of the vote because I have Bernard. Bernard is leading the Long Beach voters for me. And, no, actually, I should do okay. And the thing about anti-incumbency, I think it's exaggerated to this extent. I think if a person's an incumbent, but people know where they stand, they're going to get reelected, or they're going to do okay. I think some of the incumbents were losing. First of all, you had Specter, who switched parties. You had Parker Griffith in Alabama, who had switched parties. And other incumbents who just sort of were too quiet, or people didn't know where they stood. And when people see things going bad, they blame it on the guy who didn't say anything for the last 10, 15, 20 years. But, for better or worse, people know where I stand. I'm out there. I stand up and fight.
Yeah, I understand.
Fight for New York, so.
My position is, though,
yeah,
while the wheels have come off the world, while you've been in office, and so this is as much, it's just my position, this is as much your fault as it is anybody else's. Obama, Bush, all of them. You're right. The Goldman Sachs, I lump you in with all these people.
Yeah, well, probably if I didn't spend as much time on your television show or your radio show, whatever you have these days, I would be probably doing a better job. But I do have to communicate with the public, and there is a certain element of the population which listens to your show. As small as it is, I want to reach out to them. But as far as I'll stack my record up. And on a serious note, I've been the chairman and ranking member in the Homeland Security Committee, and I think I've done an awful lot, certainly to safeguard New York and the rest of the country against terrorist attacks.
Yeah, I was just trying to be mean to you,
because you were mean to me. I have feelings, by the way. Just so you know, I do have feelings. I'm one of the few Irish Catholic guys who really do have feelings. I have guilt, but I also have feelings.
I'm sorry I called you a loser, but facts are facts.
Well, listen, I hope that you live long enough to have me on the show again.
Long live the king.
Thanks, Congressman. Congressman Peter King. I was the one program. It's 12.